All right, well, we got Nate Ament here with us, man. A super talented wing in the 2026, 2027 draft.
26.
And we have an undecided, yeah. And we have an undecided school. Haven't got into that yet.
Nope.
I'm gonna definitely do my persuasive ways throughout the pod tonight. You're gonna see me break down why I think Duke would be the best fit, but we'll get to that. We're super excited to have you, man. I got to meet you a couple years ago. And Pausha actually gave me the introduction, Derek as well, his agent. And we got to even hoop a little bit. It was against some, subpar talent, but
that's subpar talent. The talent that you take pride in beating every week, Austin. So I don't know where you're coming from with that.
First off,
just because Nate was dunking on all of them, now it's like subpar talent. Now it's okay.
We're not about to put my pickup runs on blast. It's strategically, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am the Kobe Bryant of that league. I am the LeBron James of that league. Okay, it's my time to shine. He came there and just absolutely destroyed. And I knew about your talent just beforehand. Pausha and Derek were raving about you, man. But we got to meet you, bro, and you were man. And this was still like a year and a half ago. How long ago was this? A year ago?
Yeah, that was super sick though to see like you just go into the rec and just playing like these. These people that don't really play that often. It was kind of cool to see. That's what I kind of like. That's what I want to kind of do. Just continue to play, have fun with my boys whenever I, wherever I end up doing. So it's
it's different. It's obviously not serious basketball, but I like hanging out with my friends and getting to play and just get a little cardio up. But Pausha, go ahead. Let's get into it, man.
So I want to talk about, first of all, you haven't said his full name is Nate Ament. We haven't talked. You haven't gave the full introduction.
I said his full name. I said his full name in the beginning.
Okay, we're gonna circle back on that one. But I want to talk about Austin. Your first impressions of him when you first saw him, because obviously you've been around basketball your entire life with your dad and everything like that, and you've been around hoopers left and right. So, what were your first impressions when you saw him warming up, playing, and everything?
Yeah, man. Well, obviously the size. You see 6'8", 6'10". You're in between there somewhere. Obviously, I don't even know what your wingspan is. It's probably 7 feet plus. So you see the. Yeah, he says something like that. So you see the intangibles there. You just want to know the coordination level, how his hands are, how his footwork is. And not only was he past that, he had emulation of like guard skills, which is what you don't see. Or when you do rarely in today's game, it's a big deal. Those guys come together and become stars in our league. So to have that at your age, and you're still 5, 6, 7 years away from your prime, bro. So, now it's the amount of how hard you're going to work in between to get there. And it was exciting to see. I mean, we were talking about it for the next, 2 weeks, Pausha. We kept bringing it up, Nate. Just like, man, I can't get over how his footwork was, his feel, his finishing, his timing on his crossovers, his foot. Like all of that stuff was, obviously going into it, I knew you were good, but I didn't know you were that damn good. And then to see you continue to climb is what was more impressive, because at that point you were a known player, but you went from a guy that was possibly maybe going to blow up to where now you're one of those guys. And that's what's been really cool. And I'm proud to see, man, you just continue to work and grow. So yeah, that was my first impression and my impression now, Pausha.
And Nate, what was your impression meeting Austin and everything like that, hooping with him? And I don't know, you guys kind of just had some fun really at the end of the day.
It was kind of sick. Obviously, my agent Derek, he was like, "Yeah, we're about to go to these runs with Austin Rivers." Like, bro, what the hell are you talking about? There's no way I'm about to just go hoop with Austin Rivers. And then we pull up to the gym, and it was just some gym in the bottom of like a weightlifting. It was the weirdest gym. I was like, bro, what's going on here? But I mean, we pulled up, and then you pulled up, and we were just chopping it up, and then we played. But it was like super sick. I got to run like a pick and roll with Austin Rivers, and then we just had a lot of fun winning some games. But I mean, it was it's every kid's dream to like play with some of the greats in the NBA. So it was sick.
Man, no.
So Nate, you grew up, you watch Austin's mixtape and everything like that. You saw him because a lot of people, obviously, especially from grassroots, watched Austin in high school and his mixtapes, and then obviously to Duke in the NBA. So you already had a lot of familiarity with his game, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm finna go off. I'm about to go off.
There it is.
You got to be tired of that, bro.
You know what, bro? I always joke about it. I was like, man, I could have done anything in the NBA and it would have never mattered. I could have been like a multi all-star. I don't think anybody would ever care. I think the high school stuff is like the only thing people really. Anytime I see somebody, that's what they go to. But no, I appreciate it, man. I mean, it's love at the end of the day in the form. So I appreciate it, man, and thank you for your flowers as well, man. I got to ask you, since then, life, I'm sure for you has moved at a very fast pace. It's different now from even when I played high school basketball. With NIL, it's become a business, a lucrative one at that. And, you're now a part of brand deals. And I saw obviously the Reebok thing, which I'm sure Pausha will get into shortly. But you have all these things coming at you. And how do you balance tapping into that, making the most of it, continuing to be level-headed and staying hard, working towards your craft, and being a kid while you can? How are you able to balance all three of those things? Because now, for me, it was being a basketball player and a student and a kid, right? You got to be a basketball player, a student, a kid, and a businessman, because it's different with NIL. How are you able to balance all of these hats?
I think like the first part and the most important part is just, my circle. Obviously, you guys haven't met Derek, but you guys haven't met like my family. Me and Derek's relationship is really special because I let him handle a lot of the, off the court stuff, all the brand deals. But first things first, before, meeting Derek, I just had to make sure he had a good understanding of who I am as a kid, my values, so that any deal he does with me or any deals he, brings me with, he knows that align with my values and who I am. And then another part is, like my brothers. I have 3 older brothers, so they keep me grounded and stuff. And, just a part of it was how I was raised as, my parents, they always, taught me to be humble, caring. And then obviously, like my faith is something I talk about a lot. It's just always keeping me humble and grounded, no matter what I do.
I love that.
I want to know, what does it feel like, so growing up, me and Austin, obviously older than you, Reebok was a big deal, and Allen Iverson and other guys, Sean Kemp. What does it feel like bringing back, a brand that was so heavy, decades ago, and kind of being the face of something that's kind of reemerging again?
It's super cool because I can have a lasting impact on a brand that is so much bigger than me, and I know nothing about like the impact it had when I was younger. And to be able to be chosen as one of those guys to bring it back is super cool. And a lot of things they stress to me, is that they just want me to be myself, be the person who I am, and grow the brand that way. Not try to be anyone. I'm not try to be like AI, not try to be like Shaq. Just be, Nate Ament, which was cool, and that's kind of why I picked him in the end.
And Shaq was there, right? He did the whole intro.
Mm-hmm.
That's really dope, man. Good God.
Okay, if you're hyped about playing basketball with Austin Rivers, I mean, meeting Shaq must be like 10 times.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Where do I let's call it for what it is. Where do I fall in line? And by the way, hey Nate, how did it feel like you do these things, right? How is it going to school like the following week?
Bro, it's crazy because, this is a story like, so we did this whole Netflix thing, right? And then Shaq and his son, or no, just his son, had pulled up to my school, and they pulled up to my school with like 150 cameras and Netflix crew in my gym. Administration and teachers were looking through the window, like trying to see what's going on. And like they all have all these questions.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, it's so cool. Like you go to school and, everyone's like kind of revering you. But I mean, I'm just like a regular high school student. I don't think of myself as someone that's like, what I'm saying, this like, multimillionaire, or someone that's super important. But it's kind of cool just to have, especially the school that I'm at, like having the community behind you and having, all that support is definitely important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when we met you, and not that rankings matter, right? These things fluctuate. But when we met you, I believe you were top 40, and then since then you shot up to top 5. What's that rise been like? Did you already know? Did you always kind of know I was, this is the level I was at, and maybe you weren't being ranked accurately, or is this something that, are you just kind of taking it day by day, or how's that rise been for you?
I mean, I want to give credit to you, Pausha, because I've seen you play and I was like, man, I could really do something special. Like you gave me the inspiration to be, top 5 in the country. You know what I'm saying? Your game is just so smooth. So I was just like,
That might be the realest comment I've ever heard.
Remember me in your MVP speech one day. Remember me in that one.
Oh my goodness. What a shout out.
It's something I take day by day for sure. I have again with my circle, I have a trainer and my brothers. A lot of things that they tell me is just be consistent with my workouts every day. attack every day with the same mentality. You just want to get better, and then everything will follow. Of course, I have like a busy schedule and a lot of things coming up, a lot of games. But to attack each day with the same, mindset to get better, and then, everything else will follow.
Absolutely.
Austin, so listen, Hoop Summit, McDonald's All-American Game, these are all things that Nate's about to do. Austin, you've been there, obviously, top of your class and everything like that. You have any advice for him going into those games?
Yeah, man. I just try to enjoy them. There's two different things. Like, you can either go into those weekends trying to be the MVP of each game, and it's like a focus thing where you like try to play harder than everybody, or you kind of just go and have fun, but play hard enough to where it's, you're competitive, have a couple highlights, and just enjoy your weekend. It's also, for me, the practices were more important than the game. I just wanted to go in there and just kind of like measure myself versus guys. I was the number one player. AD was 2, and then, ESPN had him, or Rivals had him 1, and I was 2, and whatever the case may be. So I like to measure myself versus guys and see where I'm at, and then the game, when appropriate, you go at him and compete. But yeah, I don't really have any advice. He's going to take it for what it is. Nate's going to go and he's going to compete. He's going to have fun. Hoop Summit, you get after it because, it's USA versus everyone else. So that's a whole different thing. Like, that's, competitive basketball. I wish that's how the McDonald's game and like NBA All-Star games were competed. Anytime you do country, you involve that aspect to it, it just gets real competitive. So I'm excited to watch you in these, man. It's been really fun to watch your growth. I guess for me, Pausha alluded to you shooting from 40 to top 5, right? And, now they got you in top 10 draft pick. And, this stuff is amazing, right? But I remember my pops telling me, like, listen, all you are doing right now is off to a good start. Your story is far from finished. You got a lot more work to do. Do you have goals when you see yourself on these draft boards and you see people talking about you, like you said, the multi-million-dollar deals and Reebok, all this stuff? You push it aside because do you have goals to, like, do you see guys ahead of you and think, man, I'm just as good as him? You know what I mean? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Because I remember they would have a couple guys ahead of me, and I wouldn't say this out loud, so you don't have to say names, but you would see guys that they have ranked higher than you, draft ahead of you, and be like, oh man, I'm better than him. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be a competitive thing, no?
For sure, it's definitely, as a competitor, if someone says someone's better than you, you like to prove those people wrong. But for me, it's more just like fuel to the fire. The NBA draft is so far ahead. I mean, it's not really, but it's kind of far ahead. And
for sure.
So just seeing those things, like people saying they're better than you, better than this. I mean, all those things are pretty much just based off like potential, and potential is such a scary word because you can be so good, you can have so much potential, but you can never really reach it unless you just work hard each day. So that's kind of where my mind's at, just attacking each day.
And just listening to you talk, I'm super impressed by your, you just seem super grounded and humble. Any college would be lucky to have you, but let's get into Austin's favorite segment here. Let's talk about your top 5. I know you visited some of those schools, some schools you haven't visited yet. You kind of want to break down your top 5 and what you're looking forward to with each college.
My top 5 is Arkansas, Duke, Kentucky, Louisville, and Tennessee. I haven't visited Arkansas yet, but I mean, we'll get into that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I like all those schools. Specifically, I like all the head coaches, and that's why I kind of gravitated towards them. I feel like they all run. I feel like they all are very personable and all can help me get to the next level, but just help me grow as a young man. And I'm just grateful to be recruited by all of them, to be honest.
Those are some good schools, man. He's got a good list. Got Kentucky in there. You got Arkansas. Still got Cal in the picture. Tennessee, obviously, SEC is man. What they're in college basketball right now is impressive with Auburn, Alabama, Florida. I see all these teams playing at a high level. And then there's good old Duke, just way out in front. Hey, Pausha, we're so way out in front. It's not even funny anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so comedy. We have created we are the standard. We're the highest standard. We're the best show in college basketball. That's why the baddest players on the planet go there. You either run with it or run from it. You know what I mean? We got Coop right now. We got the whole gang with him. Knipple. We got Isaiah. We got about 4 or 5 picks this summer. That's going to go lottery, and then we're going to replenish them next year with a couple dogs. Nate, are you going to be one of them? That's on you. I can tell you, we want you. We want you. That's clear. John already told me to press you. All right, it's fully on. Listen, come to the show. They got more games on ESPN than the Lakers. They got more games on national television than the Knicks. It's the truth. Pausha, we have more draft picks than anybody in the past 5-10 years. It is what it is.
This is your pitch?
Absolutely.
The cocky, we're the best pitch? I thought you were going to try to persuade him. This is like something completely different.
No. I'm telling him what it is, and I believe he's of that cloth. He's a top 5 player. This guy's bro, come on, man. Shit. Him and Cameron running around there. Oh, my goodness. Yo, they would dominate college basketball. It would be a show. It's already set up for them. The keys are right there. Coop and all these guys, they're not going to be there next year. And so the new show comes in. And it ain't like he's going somewhere where he's gonna have to do it by himself and put up these numbers and have to be relying on you got help next to you. Oh yeah. Big time. We're gonna see it happen.
I mean, I don't even know if he wants to comment on any of that. That was just so
You don't need to comment. You don't need to comment. It's already written.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I saw that Louisville was one of the top schools. Austin, you had Michael Brown on your AU team for a while, so you know how good of a player he is. So I can see them teaming up also in Louisville. That'd be a really good duo.
I don't know nothing about Louisville. I don't know nothing about the establishment. Ever since Rich Pitino left, I don't know what's going on over there. I can't comment on that. Okay, I can't comment on that, nor will I be supportive of that. I'll be supportive of you no matter what. But there's a difference between. Listen, you want to go play pitter-patter ball? You want to go play Louisville? Go play Louisville. You want to go play, I don't know what league they're in. Were they in the Big East? Where are they at? But you thought, you thought I was gonna be cool and like supportive.
I thought this was gonna be like a.
You got me fucked
you're gonna
up.
Be, yeah, you're gonna be Switzerland, bro.
Yeah, no, there ain't no Switzerland over here. You know which way we rock. Yeah, top dogs.
Nate, do you want? Nate, you don't have to comment.
No, Nate, don't comment. No comments.
No comments.
Mikel Brown's nasty. Okay. He's a big time point guard, very talented man. He really impressed me with his skill level. I played pickup with him on like maybe 3-4 months ago, and we weren't going 100%, but just him even showing the range, his ability in the pick and roll, that would be something special too, no doubt. Yeah, I can't even lie about that one. That would be nice.
And you have a visit to Arkansas this weekend, it sounds like. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Kyle Parr doesn't miss either.
Oh, yeah. He's building the whole thing out for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, Nate, I want to ask you, what player or players do you kind of pattern your game after? Who do you watch? Austin, growing up, watched a lot of, Austin, you watched Dwayne Wade, and I know you were obsessed
Darren
with
Williams, Williams, Dwayne Wade. Those are the main ones. I'd probably put like Chris Paul in there, maybe a little bit. Kobe, but yeah, in terms of like my game and what I tried to emulate, Darren Williams was like a big. Brandon Roy, a couple of those guys were my favorite. So who do you see in the NBA right now? Yeah, who are some guys that you see that you look at and you're like,
I really like Jason Tatum, KD, Brandon Ingram, Paolo.
Nice.
Yeah, I like those are kind of the main guys. I mean, just for like entertainment purposes, I love watching Jalen Brunson. Just like how where'd
Jason Tatum go to school? Where'd Brandon Ingram go to school?
Was that Louisville?
Brandon Ingram, right? Brandon Ingram too. Did he say Paulo? Did he say Paulo as well? Oh God, we got the whole lineup. The whole group is us. I don't even know. Pausha, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. He just paid. I thought he was going to say Jabari Parker next. I didn't know. I thought he was going to say Jabari Parker and Zion next. I didn't know where he's going with it, or Kyrie or myself. It's all good. He gets it. Hell of a list, by the way. Yeah, so that's funny, man, because you pretty much named like with the most talented wings in the NBA. At what point? And I gotta commend whoever told you to go in this direction. A lot of times, the mistake you'll see in grassroots is you'll see a tall kid and their parents automatically put them at the center position because they're taller than everybody else, and they don't realize that when they grow up, their position could change because obviously there's guys that grow to be 7 feet, 7'1", 7'2", whatever. And what the NBA is, you clearly, I was blown away. So was Pausha by your skill level, and that was almost 2 years ago. What you've even grown to now is even more dynamic in terms of just your overall skill and capabilities to score. Who was instrumental in turning you into a guard early? because you clearly had that awareness that even with your size early on, you wanted to have, the intangibles of what a guard has. That's really impressive to me. And what kind of taught you or brought you along to develop those skills?
It was I have a trainer named Chauncey. He lives down here with me in VA, but I think it was my 8th grade summer or 9th grade summer. I just spent the whole summer in the gym just working. He wanted to make sure that, if I'm going to try to be like a guard, that I can actually handle myself like a guard, working on my handle, my off the dribble shot and stuff like that. But I mean, another huge thing, like I'm 6'10" and stuff. And, especially with like this new era of basketball, you see all these tall people trying to be guards and stuff. But another huge thing for me in my development is just sometimes getting myself into the post, because, if you're only one dimensional, if you're only a guard at 6'10", they're just going to stick someone small on you. And if you got someone small, and you just take them to the post, and it's easy work down there. So for like majority of these past couple months, couple years, I've just been working on my post game, making sure that if I do have a matchup like that, I can really take advantage of it. And I feel like doing that, I can really unlock all aspects of the game, offensively at least, being able to handle myself as a guard and being able to post up smaller defenders for sure. But I mean, I still have a long way to go. I still got a lot to learn. Got to fill out my frame a little bit for sure. And then,
what would you say is like the part of your game you want to grow the most?
I want to get better on my drive, just being able to stay in a straight line, not getting bumped off my lines and stuff like that. Working on my base, my core and stuff like that. But I just feel like I have a really high ceiling, and I definitely have a lot to go to get there. So I feel like just kind of polishing every aspect is what I need to focus on.
Yeah, 6'10" wing, being able to catch and rip, drive, get low, take contact, finish. That would be a premium.
For sure.
That would be a premium. That sounds pretty good to me, man. Anything else, Pausha?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank. Well, lastly, I want to thank Derek for setting this up, letting us meet you early on before the world's getting a chance to meet you. You obviously jumping on this pod. And my last question is, I mean, Austin alluded to earlier, how do you, from me, someone that has no basketball ability at all, how do you stay away from like seeing NBA draft on it, have you as a top 10 pick? How do you ignore that? I just can't even imagine. When I was in high school, I don't know what I don't know what I was doing. You over here on draft boards and things. I just want to know how you just stay away from even thinking about that kind of stuff and continuing to get better.
I mean, one, like I said earlier, it's my circle, but two, I grew up playing soccer, so I never really understood the hoop culture like I did. So, like for example, I got selected to this McDonald's All-American game, and then all the people around me were making such a big deal about it, and I was like, it's kind of just like another all-star game. I didn't really understand the gravity of the game. But I mean, there's kind of other stuff
like
that's important to me besides basketball. So it's not.
He just casually made the McDonald's game.
Nah, but I mean, like I said earlier, I kind of view myself as just like another high school kid. I still have a long ways to go to become a young man and just get older and stuff like that with more wisdom and maturity. But like I said, it's just my three older brothers, like they kind of like bent me into shape a little bit.
They definitely have you well grounded, man. You got a level head about yourself. You got definitely a level of maturity and understanding, and it's still mixed with an underbelly of confidence. I can feel it. I know you're being. You can already see Derek's got you. You're ready to go. He didn't engage in nothing. He's staying politically correct, but I feel it, and we saw it. Obviously, this was again almost 2 years ago, and what you've grown to be has been really exciting. And what's even more exciting is yet to come. Such a talented player, man. We wish you nothing but the best. No matter where you go, in true honesty, you'll have my 100% support. Obviously, I hope it's Duke, but although we're gonna, programs that you named are top tier with big time coaches, and at the end of the day, I think wherever you go, your stay's probably not going to be long. For I know the NBA is what's awaiting you, man. So I'm excited, to say the least. We got to get in the lab at some point because I just want to show you some footwork stuff just off the catch, man. When it comes to triple threat stuff and like fakes, Pausha knows, man. Like that was my bread and butter. I made over a decade in the league just living off triple threat jabs. You would just be so ill, especially you could be catching the ball on the perimeter over the three. You could be catching the post, turning and fading. All those turning and facing. Definitely got to get a couple hours when you do. Where are you? Right now, you're in Virginia.
Yep.
And you're fresh off of a state championship.
Yeah, fresh off a state chip.
Okay.
Feels good, man. Feels so good.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Was that a big deal?
Well,
like how the school react?
It was, bro. My school has like 200 people, 200 students, and you would think like we just like freaking like won the Olympics or something, bro. It's insane, but I mean, it feels good because like I chose to stay in Virginia instead of going to like some prep school. So if like imagine I chose to stay in Virginia and did not win a Virginia State championship, I'd be like, bro, what's going on? But so I mean, it feels good.
No, yeah, you validated.
Austin, you had that same situation too. You could have went to a Montverde or IMG or something like that, Austin, but you stayed in your hometown team too. So I think that's really cool. And you both won high school state championships.
Yeah. No, it's a good feeling. And you know what? No matter what I did at Duke, the NBA, all the people you're going to meet, you're going to be hanging around cool people, man. You're going to have many of cool memories and moments, NBA, college, all these great things. You will always remember these times with your friends, your buddies in college, these genuine relationships before it got crazy and business-like. These memories will, you'll remember for the rest of your life. So congrats, man. That's really dope. And before we go, I'm just out of curiosity. I got to ask. You said you were into soccer. I'm just, what's your club, and who's your go-to guy? Who's your favorite player? Arsenal.
Arsenal. Yeah, I'm a big Arsenal guy. Me and my brother, our house is like split between, but me and my brother are Arsenal fans. And I grew up. I don't know if you know him, Pirlo. That was my favorite player on Juventus. I loved him and I always watched him, but. We grew up a big soccer family.
And that's because what? Just who got you into soccer, man? I'm trying to think of someone out there 6'10", just kicking the ball out in a little fast break. You'd be hard to catch, my man.
It was my dad. He got us all into soccer, but I got too tall one day. We just switched over to basketball, just played at our local park and stuff. But I feel like that's where my foundation is basketball. Soccer. So.
That's what people say. You know that?
Yeah.
It's like a known thing that you're supposed to start your kids in soccer early on because they get certain tangibles with their footwork, and then you get them into basketball. It makes sense.
Well, yeah, I've seen Joel Embiid, Hakeem Olajuwon, these guys. Even if you see Luka kick a ball, these guys can kick the ball in the air for a long time.
Pascal Siakam. Yeah, a lot of those guys can they're pretty nice with the feet. So, hey man, appreciate you, Nate. We know you got school and stuff, man. You got to keep to the grind. We know you got a full schedule tomorrow of a lot of studious things, right? Am I wrong?
A lot of studious things, bro. About to be crazy.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you, Derek. We appreciate you. You got a bright future ahead of you, man, and we'll be tuned in, and you'll hear us talking about you. All positive things, man. We're big fans, so best of luck with everything.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.